Hi, in this video I wanted to show you a few things about basically the basics of working with your blogs. So there are three things really. The first is how to log in, the second is how to do a post, and third, how to do a comment. But I'm going to start with one thing about the commenting before I log in. Now that you can see here that I'm on the course blog. I'm not logged in because there's a login thing here. If I were logged in, you'd see an icon, my little holly leaf icon over here. Um, okay, so to comment, you don't need to be logged in to comment, but I wanted to show you what would happen. So suppose if I wanted to comment, I could go here and click on a student blog and read this. And I will get some comments up in the next day or so for the people that have already got some posts up. If I were going to make a comment, I'd get on this blog, I'd read the post. You click down here, leave a comment. The different themes, this leave a comment might be someplace different, and it might be called something a little differently, depending on how the writers chosen to, which theme they've chosen. But once you're ready to make a comment, you just click on leave a comment. If I'm not signed in, it's going to ask me for some information. It's going to give you a CAPTCHA here to prove you're a real person. It's going to ask for a name and an email. The email address, as they say, won't be published, but you have to fill in all that. To do the comment itself, you'd click in here in the box and just type along. Then you have to fill in this information, then click post comment. You won't be able to get back at a comment to edit it if you make a typo or forget to say something. Typos, don't worry about it. Everybody makes typos. Um, if there's something that you forgot to say, you can always do a second comment. That happens to me sometimes when I'm commenting on student essays and there's something I forgot to mention. I'll just do a second comment. Which is fine. If for some reason you commented on the wrong blog, or there's something that you've rethought and you really want the comment to just disappear, the person whose blog it is, you would have to get in touch with them and ask them to delete the comment. Or if the person has done the join a class step, I can delete comments on people's blogs. So if you let me know, I can handle it. Okay, so that's that. Again, the point is you can leave comments on blogs without being signed in, but as you'll see in a few minutes, it's much easier if you're going to leave a comment to sign in first. Now, to sign in, there are a couple different ways you can do it. I'm going to go back to the course blog here. You can just go to the edublogs, edublogs.org. Just type that in your browser. The same way that you signed up for your blog, the same screen, but instead of sign up, now you'll hit log in, and that'll bring you to a login screen where you put your username and password. You also can sign in from either the course blog or your own blog. There's a login thing. If you try to sign in from the course blog, you may get an error message that says you're not entitled to sign into this blog, but it'll give you an option below it of your own blog to log in, and that'll get you to the dashboard. Or you could go, Caitlin could go to her own blog and log in from there, and then you won't get the error message that I think that you might get if you try to sign in from the course blog. But I can sign in from the course blog since that's mine, and I'm just going to put in my username. So don't, it's really important to remember your username and password and log in. And it will bring me, I believe, into the dashboard of the blog eventually. Okay, so the dashboard is the control panel of the blog where you would go to do any changes, to make posts. It's the control panel. It's just visible to you as owner of the blog and it is to me if you've joined a class. Once you've done the join a class, this is the student view. I have somebody's blog to approve, which I'll do after I get off of this. Instead of on the student blogs, instead of seeing this kind of thing, once you've joined a class, you'll see. Actually, it might say my class for you to join a class. I can't remember exactly. Um, but once you've joined the class, you'll get a link here that says, I think, view class blog or something like that. Um, that link will let you toggle back and forth between the course blog and your own blog if you want to check on assignments, or if you don't want to have to remember too many URLs or bookmark too many URLs, you'll have that on your blog. Um, I mentioned, I think, something briefly and gave you a link to something about changing the appearance of the blog. So that would be this themes. Again, you can, if you want to just go, there is a default theme that you're given when you first sign up for the blog. If you want to just go along with that, that's fine with me. But if you want to do some customizing, you do have a number of other, and my internet connection is apparently not working so well. You do have a number of other options here, and it's still okay. Here we go. Finally, so these are all the different. It's alphabetical, so we're just in the A's. So there are many options. If you want to see what what it would look like and test out a particular theme, you can click on that. I don't know that I want to wait long enough to do that. It's taken too long. So you can test it out by clicking the live preview. Once you decide on it, you can click activate. And then as you'd expect, you can get back and change this anytime. So if you see somebody else's blog that you like the look of, it should say down at the bottom what the theme is, and you could change it. And you can change that, change it every day if you want. Most people don't sort of stick with one. For some of these themes, you can personalize them so that there is often a picture or a banner across the top, and you can use your own photos for that. As I mentioned on the course blog, my daughter designed that banner, so you can have custom banners like that. You also can change color in some cases. There are a variety of things you can customize here. Let's see, where is it? To change the title of the blog, if you've settled on something sort of generic like college writing and you decide you want to change it to something else, that would be under the general settings. You could go in and change the title, and again, you can do that at any point. One thing I'd point out, once you do the join a blog thing, and it's not going to look exactly like this on your screen because you don't have quite as many blogs as I do, but you will have this My Sites here, and there'll be two blogs. One will be the writing about place, that's the course blog, and the other will be your own. It does sometimes happen that instead of getting to your own dashboard, you get to the dashboard of the course. If that happens, you'll see something, this black border here on the left will just have a few options. You don't have the option to post on the course blog. So if you see a truncated little, just a little bit here, what's happened is that you've got onto the wrong dashboard, and you can go up here and you have to do just like on the I think it still works this way on BCC website, where you kind of have to go across and be careful that you're going across here. So you'd go to make sure that you're on the title of your blog rather than the course blog, and go across to the dashboard to get back to your own dashboard. Okay, so that's the signing in, and there is some if you want more information about how to personalize the blog or change anything. The date stamp, I think, is California time, since Google's out in California. Um, so if you want to change that, that would be the general settings as well, if it bothers you that you're seeing West Coast time instead of uh, our time zone. Okay, so that's the basics. Again, if you don't want to play around with the appearance, that's fine. Just go with what's there. Or if you, as you start to feel more comfortable with the blog and you want to change something, a couple weeks down the road, that's fine too. Okay, now the first thing I'd asked you to do was to do a post, that general introductory post. Now there are a couple ways you can get to the posting screen. This first one here that I tend to use is the plus new. You're just mostly going to be doing plus new post. Pages are the things like I have at the top of the screen that stay put. They don't go into the main part of the blog. So try to make sure that you're getting post and not page. So you can click here, or over here you can click add new post. And that hopefully in less than 10 minutes will open up a screen that looks like this. So here's the place where you put the title of the post. That's going to automatically be in a little bit bigger letters and go across the top. And here, so you click in here, and you can, and I'd encourage you to just play around. You can do a test post and then delete it, just to see what's going on. So you put a title here, and then you click some, and let me do a test just for fun. Test. I can make this bold. I can give it a color. I can copy and paste and do a bunch of them, and I can bullet them. So the icons here, you'll notice, are quite similar to what you see on Word. Again, most of them you don't need to use. You can do some alignment ones here, bold, italic, color. The other main one that we'll be using a little bit later in the course is this ability to put a hyperlink in. That's with this paperclippy icon, but I'll show you how to do that a little bit later on. So you do your test. You have two options. This if you're used to using Google Docs or something that automatically saves, this does do some auto saving, but I don't trust it very much. So you may, if you're doing longer posts, if you're writing full essays, you may want to compose in Word or on Google Docs or whatever. Yeah, you also will have better grammar checkers and spell checkers in Google than you do here. So you can control the saving a little bit better. As I say, it does do some auto saving, but I have had students that have typed stuff, and if they've lost internet connection or forgotten to save, they have lost work on the blog. So I would encourage you maybe to do it on a different rather than on the blog, especially if it's longer. If you're doing just that autobiography post, yourself as a writer, it's probably fine to do this. If you're the nervous type, like I am about saving, you can do save draft as you're going along, just as you do a Control S or a save in Word. If you write a little bit and you have to leave the computer and you haven't finished it, you can use the save draft also at the end of your session, which will save it, but it won't make it appear on the outside of the blog yet. So if I do this, I'll do save draft here. So, and then if I go out to visit site here, that's how I toggle back and forth. You can see the saved, that test post isn't appearing yet. And now I can go back to the dashboard. Again, sorry for the wait here. Okay, let's see if I can get here. the post may come up here. I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to see if I can skip ahead. You will be able to access the post in this all posts. This all posts will show you the published posts as well as the saved posts that haven't been published yet. And you can see this draft here indicates that it hasn't been published yet. Notice that the posts that have already been published, you can still get back at them and change and add to them. So if you've partially finished something but it isn't all the way done, it's fine to go ahead and publish it. If you're expecting readers to be looking at it, you may want to put a note that there's more information to come or something like that. But I could, when I did the video for this first one, the tour of the course blog, I had the post done first and then I got back in and edited it. So this one I can get back in to edit it if I want to add some more information or delete. So maybe I forgot to make this green. Maybe I really wanted this. Like that. Okay, so now it's finished, say. So then I'd click the publish button. That should make it appear on the blog. And what had been the publish button now says update. So if I got back in either through the all posts here, or if you can see, I'll show you. Once you're signed into your blog, you also have a way, if you're on the outside of the blog here, you have a way to get back in, and this edit will bring you right back to the dashboard. So either I could go back to dashboard here and then go to all posts if I needed to access it, or if I click edit here, it's going to bring me right back to that post, and I can do whatever additions or changes or deletions I want to make, and then I click the update to save the changes. Okay, now I want to get rid of this post because it doesn't serve any purpose, so I could get in all posts and delete it, or just this even more quickly, I can just click this move to trash, and that's going to delete it, and you can see it disappears from the list of posts. Okay, so I think that's most of it about posting. You may find if you work in Word and copy into the blog, you may lose some formatting, so keep an eye out for that. On the blog, you can notice we don't usually do paragraph indents. Usually the format for an electronic web document is to use block format, so you have everything is out to the margin with lines, space, an empty space in between the paragraphs. So if you copy from Word, that's what'll happen normally. So that's fine. So try not to get too much. Sometimes you get some extra space here, and you can go in and delete some of those blank lines. But it should look something like that. I think that's about it for posting. If you run up into any unusual circumstances or have any problems, just shoot me an email and I'll see if I can troubleshoot it. And then to get back to commenting, I will show you just, let's see, I know Ben has something up. Show you, now you can see here I'm signed in. You can see my howdy so-and-so, H. Pappas. I've got my little icon here. You can see all these things across all of these rather than the login that we just saw before I logged in. This indicates that I'm signed into the blog. It also, because I can see all of this on Ben's blog, it indicates he has joined the class successfully. So I just wanted to show, if I wanted to make a comment on his, how it looks differently when I'm signed in. So if I click on leave a comment and scroll down to the bottom here, because I'm signed in, it knows who I am, and I don't have to do that authentication. I don't have to put in my name or email address or do that CAPTCHA. So this is why I say if you're commenting on somebody's blog, it's easy, though you can do it if you're not signed in, it's easier to go ahead and sign in to do that. I think really, I mean, there's some other, odd things about setting up the links on the side, and there's a variety of other things that you can do in a blog. But if you can do the post and the commenting, and if you can get signed into your blog, first of all, those are you'll be able to get through most of the class. So if you haven't had much experience, um, if you haven't had any experience with blogs, or if you feel a little less comfortable with the technology, I'd encourage you to play around with some test posts like I did, and then you can get in and delete them. You also probably want to delete that first post, the dummy post that comes up on the blog that just is meant just to show you what a post and commenting looks like. So I'd get into the list of um, all posts, and then you can just delete that. You can do that uh, from the all post. I'll get into Ben's dashboard eventually. Or maybe not. Here, so this all posts, I think had already deleted it. He's gotten started. We can see on his place thing it isn't published yet, so we won't look at it. But there would have been the dummy post down here that he already deleted, so you can just delete a post by hitting this trash. So again, I'm not going to be getting into people's. I just did this for demonstration purposes, but I won't be hanging around on your dashboards unless I uh, need to see what's going on, or if sometimes people have questions, and I can do a little video like this and show them on their own blog what they need to do. So I'll get back to his regular outside of his blog. Okay, so I think that's it. Again, let me know if you have any questions. Good luck. Looking forward to reading people's stuff shortly.